Okay, good afternoon, everyone. The Department of Natural and Cultural Resources is critical in North Carolina, not only because it helps improve the quality of life of people, from the cultural arts to our parks and natural resources, but it also matters to our economy. It has a significant economic impact. As many of you know, the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources is a relatively new department, with natural resources having been put into the cultural resources area. You can debate whether that is a good idea or not, but we plan to make it work. And today I'm taking what is pretty much an unusual step of naming both the Secretary of Natural and Cultural Resources and the Deputy Secretary of Natural and Cultural Resources. I think it's important that we have broad experience in both areas. I want to introduce a person who's familiar to many of you, who will be Secretary of the Department, Susie Hamilton, who is currently a member of the North Carolina House. She is a graduate of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. She also got her master's in public administration from University of North Carolina at Wilmington. She has broad professional experience in both the private and the public sector, in land use planning, historic preservation, and the arts. She has worked for cities, and she did at one point work for the old Department of Cultural Resources, and she has been in the private sector. She's been on a number of volunteer boards dealing with the arts, like the Brooklyn Arts Center, the North Carolina Board of Tourism, the historic Wilmington Foundation, and the Wilmington Children's Museum. I'm also naming today as Deputy Secretary of the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, Reid Wilson. Reid graduated from Grinnell College. He has a background that many of you already know about in protecting our natural resources and our environment. He had several positions at the Environmental Protection Agency in Washington, and he left there as the Chief of Staff of the EPA. He has worked for several organizations, including the Sierra Club, and he is currently the Executive Director of the Conservation Trust for North Carolina, which works to preserve our parks and our natural resources. I think this team will work effectively together. These two communities in our state have a lot in common because they do improve the quality of life, and they are an economic driver for our state, particularly in the area of tourism. So I want to introduce to you first the new Secretary of the Department, Susie Hamilton. Susie?
Thank you, Governor. Yes, I do see quite a few familiar faces in here today. Thank you all for coming today and for showing an interest in your state government and showing an interest in the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. As the Governor had mentioned, I did in fact start my career in the former North Carolina Department of Cultural Resources. I refer to it historically as my first big girl job out of college. I was the assistant for the National Register coordinator for the State Historic Preservation Office. I was making $19,000 a year, and I thought I had hit pay dirt because I was in the department. It was one of my proudest moments in my life. I considered it to be a huge honor to be there. Who knew that 20 years later I would be making about $19,000 being in the General Assembly? And I have certainly enjoyed my time in the General Assembly. I've learned a tremendous amount about how our state government works, and I am looking forward to a coordinated effort with our legislature to look at projects in all 100 counties in our state and to add economic development activities into all 100 counties of our state through the preservation of our cultural resources, our natural resources, and finding a way to blend those two things together to grow our economy. Thank you very much, Governor. I'm very honored to have this opportunity.
And now I'd introduce to you the Deputy Secretary of the Department, Reid Wilson. Reid?
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you, Governor Cooper, for this incredible honor and opportunity to serve as Chief Deputy Secretary of the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. This is just a phenomenal opportunity. I'm thrilled to be here. This is a department that gets to work on all the things that people in North Carolina love, that makes our state so special and cherished: our parks, our museums, our history, our culture, our food, our music. And so I can't wait to get started to enhance and promote all those wonderful characteristics of North Carolina for the benefit of public health, for the benefit of quality of life, and, as my colleagues have said, to increase and strengthen our economic development in the state. So I can't wait to get started, and thank you very much again, Governor Cooper. I really appreciate this opportunity.